university housing facilities has increased in recent years. We'll go inside the gates of the Commons to speak with the directors on resident safety.
A new school year means a new executive board of the Student Government Association. We'll hear what the new regime has in store for the coming semester.
The university bookstore was at its busiest last week, but while some students are finding deals online, others rely on the Georgia State facility to redeem their financial aid. Good evening, I'm Jayla Bell.
And I'm Melanie Vasquez.
Part of the back-to-school season, Georgia State was chosen as one of 5 universities to feature Target's Bullseye U on its campus. On August 28th and 29th, Target representatives set up a pop-up shop outside of the sports arena, encouraging students to buy last-minute dorm accessories. The shop was open from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and displayed many items, including a mini refrigerator, flat-screen TV, bedding, and more. As a convenience, visitors were able to scan QR codes to purchase the items found in the model dorm room. Visitors had the opportunity to play games and win prizes from Target. Representatives were also giving away free items like Target brand snacks, retractable pens, and vitamin water.
Security at university housing can often mean long wait times for guest check-ins, but understanding the procedures in place and the equipment being used to keep residents safe may offer students some perspective.
Security measures at university housing have bulked up over the past year, including new procedures for guest check-in.
The intention is to keep residents safe, and when you're in an urban environment, especially when anyone can come off the street and come into the resident facility, it's important to have rules and regulations.
Monitoring access cards and implementing policies restricting the number of guests and how they enter each facility are just a few ways university housing is making residents more secure.
Well, we actually hold their government ID. They have to have a government ID to prove who they are. But we hold that, and when they get ready to check out, they stop in and they can pick that ID up.
We wear wristbands currently, and I know some of our students don't like the wristbands as much as other things, but part of the reason why we went away from guest passes is because some residents were keeping the passes and trying to use them over and over again. So we felt like the wristbands were the best option.
In addition to the wristbands, over 750 closed-circuit cameras monitor housing facilities and support GSU police efforts.
People, they find avenues to either allow other folks to come in or to sneak in their own guests because they don't want to go through the process of registering them. But our focus is still trying to educate them on how do you live safe. But from the feedback we get, our students like it until it's inconvenient.
Housing Central Security Hub located at the University Commons is also where visitors check in, a process that first-year Commons resident Jordan Terrell says can be a bit much.
I just wish that when you check somebody in after you've already checked them in and y'all left the Commons, you guys are coming back. I just wish you wouldn't have to wait in line at that part. You just show your wristband and keep it moving. That holds up the line twice as long. Then on the weekends, honestly, it's just too long, honestly, just to check somebody in and check somebody out. But I guess you got to do what you got to do to keep everything safe.
Reporting for GSTV News, I'm Alex Ositis.
Georgia State University welcomed students back to campus for the first week of classes during its annual Welcome Week. More than 50 events sponsored by the university offices and student organizations took place across campus, many of which gave students food or entertainment between or after classes. The Office of Auxiliary and Support facilitated Welcome Week and hosted a lunchtime fair and partnered with Recreation Services for Try Me events.
After a rocky start in the April elections, the Student Government's Executive Board had begun working toward their goal after a weekend team-building retreat. Reporter Vanessa Walls has more on the story.
One of the many voices of the student population at Georgia State University is represented by Student Government Association, also known as SGA. SGA officers have made efforts to increase the organization's visibility on campus.
So one of the things that we have already done is we went to all the housing facilities and we talked to the RAs there about how we can better help them, what we do as an SGA body, and how to relay that information to their residents.
The first week of school gave time for SGA to properly welcome incoming freshmen to GSU this school year.
I've been talking to freshmen coming in, playing with pounds in front of them and just showing that they're here. Pounds for Panther comes out, take pictures with freshmen, and just letting them know that this is a really amazing school. We have amazing facilities, and just showing them where it is and communicating that to them.
Finding eligible candidates has been one of the many summer tasks for the SGA officers.
So basically, over the summer, we've been trying to fill the vacancies that we have. We've interviewed several candidates who are worthy of the position. We're gonna make a decision very soon in our first Senate meeting.
Just don't be afraid to come by our office. We definitely want to hear your issues you're having, and please come to our Senate meetings. Those are going to be advertised everywhere.
Students can visit the SGA office during office hours in Suite 400 of the University Center. For more information on SGA and this year's meetings, please visit gstvonline.org. This is Vanessa Walsh reporting for GSTV News.
Last academic year, several questions were raised about the condition of the fleet of Panther Express shuttles and whether or not auxiliary and support services would renew their contract with First Transit. As of July 1st, a new fleet of buses provided by MV Transportation Incorporated has been a temporary alternative until a new fleet of Panther Express shuttles are manufactured. These temporary buses are white with Panther Express logos on each side. The new fleet of Panther Express shuttles are expected to be available no later than the fall of 2014 and will have updates such as kneeling features that offer students an easier way to load and unload, improved heating and cooling systems, and an onboard camera.
While many students are buying or renting their textbooks online, others are turning to the university bookstore to redeem their financial aid on course materials. We go to Chanel Baker with more.
Fall semester has begun and students are concerned about the high cost of textbooks. Every year it seems like a new edition of textbooks are required, which causes students to spend more money. Some students are depending on their refund checks and are not too worried about book prices.
Yeah, price doesn't matter as long as I get my refund check and I get a substantial amount of money to pay for those books. It doesn't matter.
Even though it is cheaper to buy or rent books online, but because of bookstore credit, a lot of students are buying from the university bookstore.
Well, I'm using financial aid, so that's the number one factor in why I chose to do it at the bookstore. I think doing it online probably would be cheaper, but it's the only avenue I have to take. So.
Reporting for GSTV News, I'm Chanel Baker.
Coming up on Panther Report, our own Yasmina Alston has the information students to hear about credit cards. Stay tuned.
Good morning, Atlanta. You're listening to
Does it feel like your alarm clock goes off earlier every morning? Do you have trouble waking up? Have you seen a doctor about this? If not, you can get your daily dose of caffeine at Saxby's.
Freedom of college may also come with financial insecurities for some students, leaving them tempted to buy now and pay later. Yasmina Austin has more on what students should be aware of before swiping their credit cards.
Credit cards can be used anywhere nowadays, but as students, it is especially important to know when to build credit and how to keep track of credit scores. The idea of being able to swipe a card for a purchase and pay it off at a later time may seem ideal. Being responsible is important for students when it comes to dealing with credit and building a good credit history.
Start small, get a credit card, and be responsible with it. That's the key thing is, to get a card and only buy things that you can pay off immediately and start building your credit from the beginning.
I would recommend it just because in case of emergencies, but I wouldn't say go wild and just swipe whenever you want to because you do have to pay that money back. And if you don't have it, then you just get charged, and it gets worse and worse.
There are major risks involved with choosing the credit option, but when used wisely, swiping a credit card can result in positive outcomes.
If you're buying things on a credit card that you can't pay for right now, that is not very good use of your credit card. And so you're kind of using it like a loan, and that can be a very expensive loan. And so that, I think, is the biggest risk, especially for students that have very little experience.
But as you get older, you need to build up your own credit, learn about responsibility. So it's good as you get older, but when you're younger and you've never had any responsibility, don't do it. It's a trap.
Credit history is very important and can ultimately affect one's relationship with credit card companies.
I think the way to negotiate with a company for a good credit card, for whatever good credit card terms you're looking for, is to have a good credit history.
Everyone is able to check and keep track of their credit history, which can help keep one aware of credit scores and all credit activity. For more information on checking your credit, go to gstvonline.org. Reporting for GSTV News, I'm Yasmina Alston.
The Institute of Public Health is being renamed the School of Public Health. The Council on Education for Public Health endorsed the application, allowing Georgia State to be the first public university in Atlanta with a School of Public Health. The School of Public Health, located in the Urban Life Building, has already added about 12 faculty members for the current year and will soon offer new programs, including a dual degree with the College of Law.
One thing that all Georgia State students have in common is a Panther card. As new students get their first card and returning students replace theirs, reporter Tiffany Carroll finds out what the purpose and features of the updated Panther card are. Some may surprise you.
Your Panther card allows you to purchase goods and services on campus, as well as allowing you access to campus facilities.
Panther card is actually kind of your passport to campus. It gives you access to, in addition to giving you access to the library, the rec center, and things like that on campus, through Panther Cash you can make your Panther card a debit card, which you can access online 24 hours, day or night online. There's also something called the Money Network, which is a fairly new development with Panther card within the last year that actually allows you to get your financial aid right onto the Panther card through a Discover program. In addition to providing access control to many different points on campus, Panther Cash actually provides a cashless environment for the university.
Although you can replace your lost or stolen card for a small fee, it is important to keep your card on you at all times. This is Tiffany Carroll for GSTV.
Thousands of fantasy and science fiction fans spent Labor Day weekend in Atlanta for DragonCon. The convention took place across 5 downtown hotels as well as near Peachtree Center, where a parade was held. According to Georgia State's Robinson College of Business, the convention is estimated to have more than a $40 million economic impact on the city of Atlanta. Notable panelists at this year's DragonCon were Star Trek's William Shatner, Incredible Hulk actor Luke Ferrigno, and Mythbusters' Adam Savage and Jamie Heineman. Visit gstvonline.org for more on last weekend's DragonCon.
According to Georgia State University Police Department, 151 reports and 81 arrests have been processed by the department since May 21st. 102 of the combined reports and arrests by the police department were committed by non-GSU affiliated parties. Possession of marijuana, underage alcohol consumption, and driving while under the influence accounted for 20 of the total arrests. Theft and loss or mislaid property reports account for 72 of the total 151 filed. As of this broadcast, 17 reports and 10 arrests have been made since the start of fall semester on August 26th. A look at the Panthers' first football game and more with Neha Ali is coming up in sports. Next on Panther Report.
Oh, God.
Now sports with Neha Ali.
The Panthers, now 0-1, fell to a 31-21 loss against the Samford Bulldogs as they kicked off their 2013 football season. With a 100-yard kickoff return in the first few seconds of the game, the Bulldogs made it clear this would be a tough match. However, 7 minutes later, GSU answered when quarterback Ronnie Bell found receiver Kelton Hill tying the game at 7. The two would meet again in the second quarter to take the lead. By the beginning of the fourth, Samford was up 21-14 and would keep the lead the rest of the game. GSU had 2 crucial stops during the first half, both including 4th and goal situations. Head coach Trent Miles says this is a rare thing to happen in college football.
I thought our defense did a great job. What about the goal line stand that our defense had not once but twice?
How many times do you stop them on 4th and inches?
Georgia State plays next week here at the Georgia Dome against UT Chattanooga. The game is at 2 p.m. Be sure to catch the $10,000 cash drop sponsored by your GSU bookstore and Georgia's own credit union. GSU Athletics is encouraging students to participate in their hashtag All Blue All In promotion this year. The promotion gives students and fans a new way to show school spirit. Wear GSU Blue on Thursday's home games to receive prizes and discounts from businesses such as Waffle House, Reuben's Deli, Romeo's Pizza, and the 6 Feet Under in Grant Park. Fall sports, including volleyball and men's and women's soccer, kicked off their season with away games this past weekend. Volleyball finished 1-3 at the Samford tournament. In a heartbreaking overtime game, women's soccer lost 2-1 against Alabama, who scored a penalty kick in the 94th minute. The Lady Panthers play against Kennesaw State this Friday at the GSU complex. The GSU men's soccer team faced Kentucky last weekend, where an 86th-minute goal by the Wildcats put the Panthers 0-2 this season. They play at the UNLV Nike Invitational in Las Vegas this Friday. Matt Ryan was ranked number 22 in the latest hashtag NFL rank update of offense players. This may not mean much to NFL bloggers who predict the Falcons will go 11-5 this season and be the first team to consecutively win the NFC South. The NFL begins its regular season this weekend with the Falcons on the road against New Orleans. They play Sunday at 1 p.m. The game will broadcast on Fox. This has been your GSTV Sports Update. I'm Neha Ali.
Thank you for watching this edition of Panther Report. Please visit us on the web at gstvonline.org for stories not featured in tonight's broadcast, including a Panther football recap.
Follow us on Twitter at Panther_Report and like Panther Report on Facebook. I'm Melanie Vasquez.
And I'm Jayla Bell. Have a good evening.